would have swore Witsit super genuine. I've watched him for years. He's super transparent. I've watched him on his tour. I've watched him get constantly attacked and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, you don't say. You don't say, my guy.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
guys.
I think Flatzoid is ready.
Guys, can you hear me?
Witsit,
Yeah, okay.
are you good to go?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, everybody. Let's be quiet. Let's everybody go on mute. Witsit and Flatzoid are gonna have the floor.
You want to switch to an event?
It's up to you guys. Yeah, if you want to go on the other room.
Doesn't bother me.
Might be easier to moderate it.
Well, surely people
leave it
can just
here.
control themselves, right? Like, I'll just say, like, if you're going to start interrupting, we're just going to mute you.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, no if you interrupt, you're gonna get muted. So it's gonna be between Witsit and Flatzoid.
Okay, so I called you out in the chat, right? And so props to you for coming. And I will just give my perspective real fast here. I haven't watched any of your streams. I'm making a point not to watch any of the streams that are slandering me so that I don't get pissed off. And but people have told me that you're faking it, or that you're claiming that we faked it. Even when I was in Antarctica, I was told, you'll never guess what Flatzoid said. He claimed that Union Glacier's not even in Antarctica, and I heard that you're just doubling and tripling down. That you're doubling and tripling. I'm just telling you what I've heard, and then you can correct the record or whatever. That you're doubling and tripling down, claiming that I faked it, that we weren't actually there, that it was a studio, that none of it's adding up, blah, 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 blah. So obviously, what I want you to do is just kind of come here and whatever accusations you made, like say it with your chest or clear the air. We'll correct the record if you're actually genuinely trying to figure out the truth. And yeah, there you go. If you want to go ahead and like give your position or address any of those accusations and or like just lay out what you think and what you've been saying.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you called this out. I haven't been slandering you. People can actually watch the streams where I actually said I think you've been duped into this thing. So I've actually been sticking up for you. Although you have done very shady things that we've seen, like the vape thing, which I think I was listening earlier where you said it's just a cup of tea.
What? No. I said there's a stream with Owen Benjamin where you can see my breath the entire time. And the reason that you're able to see my breath more is because I'm drinking hot tea in that stream. And so it's warming up like my lungs, and my mouth is wet and my throat is wet. And so you can see my breath the entire stream during the Owen Benjamin stream, which completely debunks the claim that you can't see our breath and I had to fake seeing my breath.
That's not actually, I wouldn't say that debunks anything, because when we watched that other stream of yours live where you actually, which is in contention, where you actually put off your screen and went into the shelter there and took your vape, as people are saying, because it does look like you took a vape. That's the only time that breath showed, and you were out of breath when you were doing it. It's like you were holding your lungs. We showed a video of the marathon runners there a day earlier, and their breath was showing the whole time, and they were also at Union Glacier. So why was it possible that their breath is always showing and your guys wasn't?
Okay, so that isn't true. We just now watched the marathon video. There's like an hour and a half long video. It actually just loops a lot. And you can see many different scenes where people are actually running or just ran, and you don't really see their breath. There are times that you see their breath. There are times that you don't see their breath. Secondly, yes, I went inside and drank water. And like I've said many times, if you go into somewhere that it's warmer and you drink water, when you come out, you can see your breath more. I've also said that, yes, I did unexpectedly find a vape in my bag when I was traveling. That's because I used an old little bag I used for chargers, and it had a vape in there from way back in the day, because I did used to vape. I don't vape now. And so I did hit that vape a couple times when I was in Antarctica, but I did absolutely objectively not hit a vape, walk over to the scene, to the screen, and then exhale it to fake my breath. That's just objectively not true. And that's why all the people that are claiming it, are not actually showing the consecutive moments up to that point. And what they're doing is blatantly lying about the timing. And they're saying, look, Austin's ducking behind the trash can here. Then he stands up, and this is where he fakes his breath. But that isn't true at all. That isn't where you see my breath. That's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes later in the stream.
If you watch the video, because you watch this live, you can see you vaping as soon as you get out. You actually put it to your mouth. And when you walk to the laptop, you actually duck down to vape. We actually see this in real time.
Do you notice you didn't? Okay. You cannot see in lifetime that I hit a vape and walk over to the camera and then exhale. Objectively, you cannot. And I actually have a 4K 360 video right here that's 25 hours long lifetime that will prove that this whole entire thing is a lie and that you don't see me hit a vape and walk over there, because I would never vape on camera. Okay. And proof that I didn't vape and fake my breath is that immediately afterwards, I try to take 2 more deep breaths to show you my breath, because I thought that you were gonna see it again.
Okay, but like we said, we got actual video footage from a camera showing you walking in concession and doing this. We see you go down, and we see you actually put things to your mouth, and then you show the breath.
That is a lie. You are sitting here lying.
Not a lie. Are you saying I'm lying?
Yes, that's what I just said, right? Didn't I just say you're lying? So yes, I'm saying you're lying.
We got live streams to show it. Remember, you said
no, you don't. Show it right now. Show your screen. Show it right now. You're lying.
Whoa, wait. Did you not say you didn't watch any of the streams?
No, what I watched, what I did. No, what? No, what
you
I
said
did.
At the beginning when I started, you didn't watch any of the streams because you don't want to see people slandering you.
I didn't watch your streams. That's right. But what I have seen is the claim that you're making right now, which is some video someone made saying, look, here's Austin ducking behind the trash can. And then he says, then he stands up and this is where he fakes his breath. That's a lie, though. That isn't the moment in the stream that you see my breath. It's an entirely different moment in the stream. It is a lie. You just now said the lie. So show the screen, show everyone that this is not a lie. Show right now that you watch me duck, hit a vape, stand up, and fake my breath. You won't, because that isn't what happened. It's an entirely different part of the stream.
Just like I wouldn't show up, yeah. Okay. I'm going to try to see if I can get the video quickly.
No, I agree with Austin. That was an edited video. They moved the timeline around. You have to look at it because it is false.
Flatzoid and Witsit go back and forth with this.
Okay, cool. If you did say it's edited, I'll look into that. But what I see.
Well, answer the question. Did you? Is that where you saw it? You saw the video that showed that the guy's narrating it, and he says, "Look here, you see him ducking behind."
Camera. It shows off a 360 camera.
You're not answering my question. Is where you supposed?
No, not off that. No, I didn't see it off that. It was off a 360 camera.
Yeah, on the 360 camera. I want you to say it on the record right now. I want you to say it on the record right now. You're claiming you watched the 360 camera and you watched me duck, hit a vape, stand up, and exhale. Is that what you're claiming?
Yes.
Okay, that is a lie. Because what actually happened was I walked into the room. Okay, then I come back out, walk up to the stream, and that's when you see it. Later on, I duck below the trash can.
Did you not switch your screen off?
What?
Did you not switch your screen off when you went into the
No, what I actually did was played a video that is a song of my wife. And that she made, and I just found out yesterday that shows black screen on the stream for some reason. And then I even showed people what the actual video is, and I can pull up my studio right now that has that video loaded. So I played the video through Talk Studio through Streamlabs, which has an uploaded video of my wife who made a visualizer for a song she made when I was there. I played that song, which you can obviously hear in the stream. It's playing a song. I played the song. It was supposed to be playing the visualizer video. For some reason, it just showed a black screen. Then I walked away. I went inside. I got a drink of water. I came back out, and then I ended the video and started talking again. But what the claim that's being made, which comes from a video, which literally says it's edited. The video's edited, and he says, here's where he ducks below the camera, the trash can. You can see it. Looks like he's hitting a vape right here. Then he stands up. You see him stand up again for the screen because I'm like putting the gloves on. This is where he fakes his breath. That is a lie. If you actually go and look at the stream where you see my breath, I'm not even wearing gloves at that point. I only put those.
We watched that stream live while you were doing it, and we said, "Oh, where's your gloves now?" You do know that we said this. Oh wait, you wouldn't because you didn't watch our stream. By the way, yes, don't worry, I'll get.
No, address what just was said, dude.
I say you are lying because we saw you duck down and take a vape, stand up and show your breath, and you were out of breath when you tried to do so, like you holding your breath. Now,
that isn't what happened. Show the screen right now. Show what you're claiming is true.
Don't worry. No, it's a bit difficult to show now, but don't you worry. We will show everything. But for now, why did you walk away to pick up snow when you could have just got it by yourself?
No, we're not just going to skate past this. What you're saying is a lie. We're going to wrap up each point. What you're saying is a lie. I did not hit a vape and then walk over to the screen and exhale the vape. Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. I did not hit a vape. Stop interrupting me. This is just like what you have to do with FED, because I'm about to completely expose every one of your slanderous claims, and so you're going to have to try to censor me. Okay, I objectively did not hit a vape, walk over to my camera and exhale a vape to fake my breath. If I did hit a vape, I intentionally made sure that I had already exhaled before I ever went to the camera, because I would never vape on camera. The circulating video claiming that I ducked behind a trash can and hit a vape and stood up, and that's the part he fakes his breath, is a lie. It is edited. It's an entirely different part of the stream, which is why you will objectively never show what you're claiming you can show right now, because I've already looked at the video. I know for a fact it's a different portion of the stream. Okay. So, and then secondly, we've already debunked the whole thing and you just handwave dismissed it, that I then do a stream later with Owen Benjamin where you see my breath the entire time. And then the obvious point here that is just so obvious, if I was hitting a vape to try to trick people into saying that you could see my breath and fake I'm in Antarctica, why would I then say, oh wow, be surprised you see my breath, say what's up now, and then immediately take 2 follow-up deep breaths thinking you're going to see it again, if I actually knew that I was hitting a vape to trick people?
Okay,
Not just that, but real quick, the vape, like vapor, is
No,
so.
hold on, man. Hold on.
Yeah,
This is
just-
Witsit.
Okay, let's get back to this. Remember, you even said you don't vape anymore, but you just apparently had a vape in there, and you decided to vape in Antarctica, which is odd. We see the video footage of you actually ducking down, putting the vape to your mouth, then standing up and showing your breath. And
you're lying.
No, I'm not. You just saying I'm lying doesn't mean I'm lying.
Are you going to bet 10 grand? You want to bet 10 grand on it?
I'm not a betting guy. As a
oh, that's convenient.
That's
at the end of the
don't
stream.
worry.
Stop interrupting.
But I'll be showing you. Don't worry. I'll be showing you exactly.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Yes,
because
I will. Just
okay, now what I want you to do is actually
wait. Don't interrupt me now. Don't tell me what I will and won't do, because all you are doing now is saying I'm lying while we literally saw you do it. So
no, you didn't. What your retarded dumbass did was see a clipped, edited video. What you did was see a clipped, edited video circulating on the internet where a guy just baselessly claims that after I duck behind the trash can, I stand up, and that's the part of the stream where you see my breath. But if you weren't retarded and you actually went and fact checked it, you would have saw that's an entirely different portion of the stream, Flatzoid. Where you see my breath in the stream is when I enter the building, walk back over there, and start talking. It is an entirely different part of the stream. Objectively, it is edited, and the only evidence you guys have is this guy just claims, like you're claiming right now, that that's when you see my breath. That isn't true.
While we watched it live. Okay, but would you be willing to take a polygraph test?
Yes. And you didn't watch it live. You didn't watch it live, you retard. The 360 camera wasn't there. Time out. You didn't. Okay. So then you didn't see me do anything ducking behind a trash can live. So you're lying. What you're claiming right now is that you can watch me duck behind a trash can, hit a vape, stand up, and then fake my breath. That is a lie. The moment that I then stand up is an entirely different time of the stream.
You sure you want to? You sure you want to down that hill?
I mean, Flatzoid, can we just...
Can the audience please get the video that you guys are talking about for like the past 10 minutes so we can wrap this point up?
I linked the video.
Guys,
I linked the video
hold on.
reference.
This isn't time to interject. Hold on, man. Flatzoid, can we just get a timestamp?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if I can get it up here quickly. We're from my live, watching his live, and then you can see he literally puts on his screen again, and then he ducks down, ducks up, and then shows a vape. Wrong. I'm just trying to get it quickly.
And what's even crazier about it is, again, okay, there's a stream where I'm talking the whole time and you see my breath. And then you made another false claim and you claimed that the people in the marathon, you can see their breath the whole time. That's a lie. We just now watched it. The whole room just watched it, where people that are running the marathon, half the time you don't see their breath. You claimed you always see their breath in the marathon. That's a lie. We just watched it. There are tons of times.
Now you lying because you didn't watch any of my content. So when did I say they always see their breath?
You said that when you first came in here. You said that when you first came in here.
Wait. I said most of the time.
No, you didn't. You said always. You said the word always. And so now, okay, who cares? Now you're changing it. Oh, so you're saying
I'm not changing it because, by the way, do you know when they're having the interviews before the race, they show their breath as well? Were they hot then?
Wait. No, don't. You just said now you're not saying always. No, you're trying to avoid this.
Why are you changing?
What? Were they hot then? Is your question? Were they hot then?
Before the race, yes. The interview before the race.
I would guess that they're not nearly as out of breath or as hot as after they run, are they, Flatzoid? That's irrelevant, though, because what you just claimed. Yeah, don't stop. You're going to now address that. You just double spoke. So first, when you came in here, you said that we watched the marathon and you always see their breath. Now you're claiming you didn't say that and that you just said that sometimes you do. Okay, so if you're now saying that sometimes they do, then how come when they're running a marathon in Antarctica, how could there be moments that you don't see their breath? Answer the question.
You are claiming you only see the breath because they were hot. That's what you said.
I never said anything like that.
Well, this was recorded live, so yes, you did say that.
I did not say you only see their breath because they're hot. I never said anything like that. Answer.
So now you lying. Okay, now again, Witsit.
Look, the whole room is sitting here watching you, and I would say you lost credibility with this, but you never had any. You never had any.
Witsit, the only thing you've been doing this whole time is trying to insult me and saying I'm lying, even when you concede you've never watched anything I've been bringing out. So the only one having no...
You're not going to get away from this question. You came in here, you said that that you're going to answer the question, Flatzoid. You came in here, you said you're going to answer the question. I promise on everything I love that we're not going to skip this point. You're not going to get to skip the point. I get you were trained by
You called me out, okay? And I'm answering you. Did you or did you not always show your breath?
No. What?
Great. Will your breath show when you're in Antarctica?
So, yes, on camera, sometimes it's hard to see your... Dude, this is what you have to do. You're just like Nathan Oakley. You're going to get completely exposed, so you have to censor me. It's not going to work here, though, so we're going to now go back to what you keep avoiding. You came in here. Stop interrupting me. You came in here...
interrupting me every time. Stop interrupting me. Stop telling me I'm lying. Stop talking bogus lies about me and telling me I'm lying. When you
says the guy who slandered me for weeks now, for a whole week.
What did I say you about?
Dude, Flatzoid.
You just made a claim I slandered you.
Look at how he's acting. He knows he got caught, and so he's trying to do everything in his power to avoid the point. I'm going to keep repeating the point until you address it. You came in here, you claimed that we watched the marathon video, and we quote unquote always see their breath. I then called you out for that. You now say, I didn't say always. It's recorded. Just blatantly gaslighting the room. Yes, you're right. It's recorded. You said always. Now you're saying that you said sometimes. Okay, then here's the question that you're so scared of answering. If the people were running a marathon in Antarctica, and you only sometimes see their breath, why would you ever not see their breath?
Camera angles also make a difference. Now, again, and lighting. But I'm going
back to camera... Wait. So camera angles and lighting. So camera... No, I want you to answer... Wait. No, we're going to clarify this. We're going to clarify this.
It's my turn, Witsit. It's my turn, Witsit.
Well, wait. Hey, it's your turn after we wrap up this point. It's your turn after we wrap up this point. So just to clarify...
No, it's my turn. You just had your turn. I answered you. It's my turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Flatzoid admits that you wouldn't see your breath in Antarctica because of lighting and camera angles, but his whole home run is that we don't see our breaths. You're a retard. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, great. Insults. So anyway, their breath was seen most of the time because the angles and the lighting was correct. You, the whole time, said, you can't see my breath because the air is too dry. Then you go and take a vape, which we saw, and then you say, look, there's breath, and you try it again, and it didn't work because the vape was already out of your lungs. We can even see you holding your breath and forcing it out. So again, instead of over-talking me and telling I'm lying, now you made a claim I've been slandering you while you just literally said 5 times you have not watched my content. What have I slandered you about? The person who hasn't watched my content.
Okay, you've slandered me since you've been in here. You're going to interrupt me, guaranteed. You slandered me since you've been in here. You're still doing it. You're claiming I faked my breath with a vape. That is objectively a lie. Therefore, it's slander because that isn't true. I didn't fake my breath. I have no reason to fake my breath. You have now admitted that based on camera angles and lighting, you wouldn't always see your breath. And your big home run was that I pointed out that you don't really see your breath here because of the dryness of the air. That's a fact. If you knew how to use Google, maybe you could look up and say, what causes you to see your breath? And you would see that it's directly proportionate to moisture in the air and in the lungs. So yes, because it's a desert, there is basically no moisture in the air and your lungs dry out the longer you are outside. So for the temperature to be as cold as 18 degrees, you do not see your breath nearly as often or as much as one would expect because you're in a desert. I was in Tennessee and it was 45 degrees and I could see my breath more there than I could in Antarctica. And the answer is because it's a desert. And you've now admitted that because of the background lighting and it's so bright and based on camera angles that even in Antarctica, you wouldn't always see your breath because of the background. The other answer is because the visibility of the breath isn't that high because it's a desert.
Sorry, do you know that you can still see your breath in the desert? What's it?
Did you know that you can still see our breath in the videos where we're in Antarctica?
Great. So again, you were fighting and saying you can't see it because the air's too dry. Now you're saying you can see it. Contradict much?
No, I'm not. Dude, this is so goofy. So you can't see your breath as much as one would expect with temperatures that cold because it's a desert. So your breath is not nearly as visible as it would be somewhere else where it's more humid and there's more moisture in the air. So when I say you can't really see your breath here because it's a desert, that's just a fact. That's a fact. You can go somewhere in North America. You can go to the northern portion of the United States, and it can be twice the temperature, and you would see your breath twice as much because there's way more humidity, way more moisture in the air. This is a fact that everyone can easily research. Visibility of breath is due to cold temperatures in relationship to the amount of moisture in the air and in the person's lungs. That is a fact. So yes, the visibility of your breath in Antarctica is not nearly as high as it would be somewhere else with the same temperature because it is a desert. And yes, the background is always super bright. The sun's reflecting directly off the snow and ice. It's super bright. It's like a white background. We were actually trying to figure this out live because when people were pointing out that we couldn't see our breath, we're like, yo, now that you come to think about it, we really don't see our breath as much as you would think that we do. And then later on, I walked behind that building in the shadow and I could see my breath very easily the whole time. I then called Jaron over there and said, bro, you can totally see your breath. And he came over there and we could see each other's breath because we're in the shadow and we're not just in the bright sun. So we were literally trying to figure it out ourselves live. Because guess what, Flatzoid? We were actually in Antarctica. That's why.
Can I jump in or y'all?
No. Okay. So just to wrap this point up, Flatzoid, I want you to be honest, bro. Okay. I'm sorry I called you names or whatever, but this is you. If you're honest and you know, say hypothetically, I really went to Antarctica. Say hypothetically, I literally got no sleep for multiple days. Say it cost me thousands of dollars. Say I'm being slandered by the mainstream. Then I come back and people on my own side are slandering me. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm getting frustrated. Okay, and I've been very patient. And I've waited like a week to let you guys stop being retarded. Okay, because it is retarded. So now, Flatzoid, I want to wrap this point up. We both agree that even in Antarctica, you wouldn't always see the person's breath on camera because of the angle and the lighting.
Yes.
Okay. Do we also agree that in Antarctica, you wouldn't see your breath as much as somewhere else that was more humid and had more moisture in the air?
You know, it was based on 50% humidity that day.
Answer my question. Do we agree that you're
50% humidity that day? What's it?
Wait, where? At Union Glacier?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just telling you an objective fact, which is when you go there, your lips immediately get dried out. Your mouth is always dry. It is super dry there. I don't know anything about what you're claiming about the percentage of humidity. Okay. What I know for a fact is that it's super dry there. You have to constantly drink water. Your throat, your mouth, and your lips are immediately dried out. It is a desert. It never precipitates there.
Yeah, can I talk now? Great. First of all, it was over 50% humidity that day. So you would easily have precipitation of breath. By the way, the vapor comes from your lungs, so it doesn't really matter what's going out there. It's more the lighting that causes not to see. But you were standing at an angle that you were able to see it and then not see it after you fighting for why you shouldn't see it, and then all of a sudden you do see it. So you're contradicting yourself. Also, the wind, based on the live weather report, didn't match with what you guys had there and the cloud coverage. It said it was cloudy and -8 degrees Celsius with wind. You guys didn't have any wind at all, no clouds, and it seemed much warmer than -8 degrees Celsius. Why is that?
Oh, how many degrees Fahrenheit is -8 degrees Celsius?
Below freezing.
Okay, so it's like I don't know, maybe like 18 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, 0.4 degrees or something.
No.
Yes.
Okay, so see what I'm saying? You haven't even looked up stuff like this. How
You
many?
just told me
It's
I'm going
18.
18 degrees. So -8 degrees Celsius is 18 degrees Fahrenheit. And you just claimed it was 0.4 degrees. So you were wrong.
Wait,
You were wrong.
Then I was
Okay.
wrong, then I was wrong.
Okay, now listen, this is the other part you're just not seeming to understand. If it's super dry there, yes, it's based on moisture in your lungs and in your throat and in your mouth, by the way. Your lungs dry out because all the air you're breathing is super dry, Flatzoid.
Did you not drink water before, or did you just decide to stay dehydrated?
I did drink water, yes. Okay, you're not addressing the point. You just claimed it has nothing to do with
You
the.
know you don't dehydrate in a half an hour, Witsit.
What are you talking about?
I live in a place where we get 50 degrees Celsius, okay? And we don't dehydrate in like literally 15 minutes or a half an hour. So you're talking bullshit by trying to use excuses to say, oh, your mouth was dry, you had no moisture. Dude, you have to literally be dehydrated not to have that.
Okay, so you're now trying to tactically shift the goalpost away and deflect from the fact that you claim that the environment, the amount of moisture in the air, has no relation to seeing your breath because it's based on. Stop interrupting me. It's not going to work because it's based on your lungs. But of course, guess what? Your lungs breathe air, and guess where that air comes from? The air around you. So yes, if the air that you're breathing is super dry, your lungs will dry out. Secondly, it was actually very difficult to consistently get water when we were off site because the only water they brought into that place was 2 things of really hot water, and they said if you want to drink the water, go put ice in it. Right? I didn't drink near as much water as I should have because I constantly felt terrible. I didn't even want to drink water. I literally felt sick most of the time. And again, yes, you would dry out much quicker than where you live. Just like if you go to the Sahara, you will become dehydrated significantly faster. And that's because it's a desert. Everything is dry. Your lungs dry out. Your mouth dries out.
We dry.
What?
I still see. I'm dry. I'm in the bush. We have 50 degrees Celsius temperatures in the summer, okay? And even before it hits freezing temperatures, we can see our breath here, and it's quite dry. So I know what I'm talking about because I live in a dry area. Now, again, you're not addressing the thing. It was 50% humidity the day you did that stream. Why is it 50% humidity you claiming is very dry?
Dude, when it's cold, the amount of humidity isn't nearly the same. The percentage of humidity isn't nearly the same if it's warmer outside. The actual moisture retention is directly relative to temperature. I can't believe you haven't looked up any of this. And again, you're just now arbitrarily, subjectively claiming that I shouldn't have been dehydrated because where you live, it takes you a little bit longer to be dehydrated. Like, what are you talking about? I had been there for multiple hours. I was objectively dehydrated. My lips were chapped. My mouth was dry. My throat was dry. And my lungs were dry. And in that scene, that's everyone so, I think they found some gotcha. which because they just have to lie and be dishonest about it. Whenever I then breathe in real deep, because I thought, oh, it's just about how deep of a breath you take. I took in a really deep breath. It literally hurt my lungs because it's cold and dry. Okay. So I don't need your opinion about it. I was there objectively. It was very dry. Objectively, my lips were chapped. Objectively, my mouth was dry. That's just a fact. Everyone knew and could tell that it was dry. Your skin gets dried out. It's objectively dry there. It's a desert. Are you denying that it's a desert?
No, I'm saying I live in desert-like conditions, so I know exactly what's going on. I literally live in a place that's dry, Witsit, so I know what's going on. Notice that all you've done is not actually just address the fact that it was 50% humidity, which means it wasn't as dry as you're trying to make it out to be.
He did address
I did address that.
No, you just said it is dry. That's not addressing anything. But if you
That isn't what I said. That isn't what I said. Why are you lying so much? I thought you said that you believed in the Bible.
Flatzoid, what did he say about humidity and cold weather?
Hold on, guys. This is the 1v1. Please,
You just
everybody else.
you just
stay on
blatantly lied. You just blatantly lied. Yes, you claimed that all I said back was that it was dry. That isn't what I said at all. What I said was
my lips are chapped because it's dry. It's like in the desert. It's dry.
that isn't what I said back to the 50% question. That's objectively not what I said back. What I said was when it's colder, the moisture retention rate is much lower than when it's warmer. And you could have easily looked this up before making stupid claims. That's what I actually said. Now you claim that I just avoided it entirely and just said that my lips were dry. No, that's a lie. And by the way, you should look up bearing false witness. Okay, so we've covered.
Yes, I know all about it, and that's exactly what you've been doing this whole stream. Well done.
When did I bear false witness?
By saying I've been slandering you. Still haven't shown once where I've slandered you.
I just gave a perfect example. The one topic we've covered so far is you slandering me. You're claiming that I intentionally tried to deceive the audience into faking my breath by hitting a vape and exhaling it on the camera. That isn't true at all. It's objectively not true. So it not being true means that you're slandering me. You then completely hand-wave dismiss the fact that there's another stream where I'm drinking a hot tea, right? And you can see my breath for the full 30-minute interview, the entire time. You never stop seeing my breath. You see my breath the whole time. You just hand-wave dismissed it and said that doesn't matter. How does that not matter?
Because we're not talking about that incident. We're talking about the incident you stick off your screen, go into the thing, get your vape, actually go down, take a vape and stand up and show your breath. Were you out of breath, by the way? Why were you out of breath when you did that?
I don't know. I haven't even watched it. Look, why I was out of breath? Maybe because I did hit a vape before that. But this is what's so funny, though, is that you're not addressing the point. You're being dishonest. Just to say, oh, we're not talking about that. That's so dishonest. You're claiming that we weren't actually in Antarctica, and that one of the evidences that we weren't actually in Antarctica is that I faked my breath with the vape. Now, I pointed out, dude, there's a live stream where I do an interview with Owen Benjamin, and you see my breath the entire time. And your response is, that doesn't matter. We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that incident. No, we're talking specifically about your vape incident, remember?
So wait, so I was really in Antarctica? Wait, I was really in... I had already said I had a vape.
No, you just said you could have vaped right now with that.
What? No, I know for a fact that I did not hit a vape, hold it in, so I could then go in front of the camera and exhale, faking my breath. I factually know that didn't happen. I would never do that.
You said, wow, I probably hit a vape right before that.
No, I'm saying, maybe you asked why I was out of breath. I'm taking your word for it that I was out of breath. Maybe, just maybe, I did hit a vape around that time. Also, maybe I was just out of breath from walking around in a freaking desert after not sleeping for 5 days. You know, it doesn't, this is what you're not addressing though. Yeah, it was high elevation, high altitude. I was out of breath most of the time because I'm not used to being at high elevation or high altitude, right? So just actually breathing itself was harder and the air was dry. It was noticeably thinner and it was noticeably drier. Okay. I live in Florida, bro, where it's warm, humid, and close to sea level. This was a complete flip on its head for me. I literally got sick. Okay. Now, what I want you to actually address, though, is I'm telling you factually, I did not hit a vape, walk over to the camera, and exhale a vape. If I hit a vape anywhere close to those times, I exhaled before I got on camera. That's because I would never want to be seen hitting a vape on camera because I don't vape. I don't think it's good to vape. And I would never want to promote that by proxy of doing it. Same reason I don't cuss on my streams. You may catch me occasionally slipping up and cussing. Right? I happened to find a vape and I just hit it. I probably shouldn't have because I quit vaping a long time ago, but I found an old vape and I did hit it when I was there. But there were people that were smoking there. I didn't want to really smoke cigarettes. And it was just a weird environment. I was delirious. I was tired. I didn't feel good. And I found an old vape. And so I occasionally hit it while I was there. That's just a fact. And I would never have vaped on screen. Okay. And then secondly, why would I do that? Because we just covered that another stream I do, you see my breath the whole time. I was actually in Antarctica. So for whatever reason, if you can't really see my breath on camera, I didn't care. I wasn't trying to convince anyone of anything because I didn't care. I thought you guys sounded insane. Okay. So like, I'm like,
so how do you know we're insane if you haven't watched our stuff?
That's literally why when this conversation first started, I said, to be fair, I've only heard what people have said that you said. And I want to let you clear the air and clarify your claims and correct the record. But sure enough, you led immediately with the slanderous claim that's been going around about me that I tried to deceive the audience into thinking I was in Antarctica by faking my breath. And anyone that's an actual truther, that's actually looking for truth, actually trying to be honest, they would have to acknowledge that another stream that I did in Antarctica, you see my breath the whole time. You're not even addressing it. You're just ignoring it.
I said it's got nothing to do with the vaping incident, but yes, we have addressed. We said yes, the warm tea will let you see the breath. No one is disputing this. It has nothing to do with the vaping incident, which you just 3 times now said yes, you could have vaped and tried to blow it off screen before you got on screen and you were out of breath because of the vape.
Okay, so if I exhaled off of screen, then how am I actually exhaling the vape on screen?
You did it on screen. That's the whole thing.
I literally didn't though.
We saw you do it live, man. We saw you.
I've seen the clip. Anyway, can I speak on it?
Anyway, Witsit, because we can't do this too long. Can we address why you walked 10 feet back to pick up snow when you could have just got it by your feet?
I got a question for you when you're done.
Okay, but just wait up. Yeah, so and again, we're just going to, one more time for the audience, he's completely avoiding the fact that there's another stream you see my breath the entire time, which completely nullifies the notion that we weren't in Antarctica. That's why I had to fake my breath. I did not exhale a vape on screen, provably. And if you actually watch that scene, you see me then take 2 more. I'm surprised you see my breath. So then I'm like, oh, whoa, what's up now? And then I take 2 more deep breaths, assuming I'm going to get to keep seeing it, because for some reason you're able to see my breath right then. And I actually assumed it's because I went inside, warmed up, and drank water, and then you'd be able to see my breath again. I took 2 deep breaths. You don't see my screen. See my breath. Then someone in here told me that's actually not how you see your breath in cold climates. You don't take really big, deep, cooling off breaths. You would like kind of breath to see your breath. I didn't know that because I'm not used to where it's being cold. So either someone could be a truther and acknowledge clearly there's evidence there that Austin was in Antarctica and you see his breath, or they can just be a liar, completely say, oh, it's just separate, it doesn't count, and then you can choose to believe like Flatzoid to push a stupid, incoherent, logically inconsistent narrative. I don't care. Now, when it comes to the snow, though, okay, when I looked, someone said, go pick up snow. I was like interacting live with the chat with the claimed like debunks of us being there. Someone said, go pick up snow. So I'm like, okay. So I had to put on these really big mittens, which I didn't wear anywhere else in the trip because you can't even like bend your fingers. But I put those on, and then I looked around and I noticed that I already knew, of course, that the ground that I was standing on was super compacted. It was like ice. I would have had to dig into ice. With a thin layer of dry snow packed down into like effectively ice, like an ice snow mixture. I would have had to actually dig into the ground to try to get a little bitty scoop of snow. So I just walked around where there was an area close to us that wasn't compacted, because they compacted a path for us. It's the same place they ran the marathon, actually. They compacted that whole thing for the marathon. That building was there for the marathon. That place had been compacted. So I just turned and walked over to where there was a pile of snow right there, picked it up, and went and threw it. And from what I actually remember, I then picked up another one down by where I was. The second time, I actually bent down because I noticed there was a little bit of snow close to the trash can. I bent down close to where I was and picked up snow and threw it and like dropped it all slow.
I was about to point out. Then why you pick up the second time right next to you? Because you just contradicted yourself. Well done again.
I didn't contradict myself. I just specifically explained it, that I knew that where I was compacted. I wasn't going to dig into it, so I just walked over where I could easily pick it up. When I then walked back over there to drop the snow, I noticed there was a little bit of loose snow close to the ground where the trash can was, so the second time I just picked it up there. That isn't a contradiction.
Yes, it is. You said, I can't pick it up, it's compacted. Yes, I just saw there, so I picked it up there. That's a contradiction.
Where I was standing was objectively compacted because they made a path for the marathon that we then used, and they also drove the trucks there. So I knew that where my feet were was super compacted, so I just walked over to where there was an entire pile of it. When I came back and I noticed I didn't fully get it on camera the best, I'm like, oh, there's some that I can grab right there, a small amount. I saw it for the first time there. So then I grabbed it and showed it. Okay. And all this is just retarded anyway, because your argument is, oh, it's because they weren't really there. They had fake snow in the back. And then you have to turn around and say, oh, wait a minute. They didn't, obviously, because there was something he picked up that was close to the camera. Every one of your arguments are stupid. And that's why you have to do the same thing Oakley does. You have to just compartmentalize and avoid the other context that refutes you. So if your argument here is implying that what? What is your argument exactly? What are you suggesting or implying that somehow proves that I was being fraudulent by having to walk away and get the snow? Would you like to actually formulate an argument how that somehow proves that I was lying about something?
You do know, if you look at that footage as well from the 360 where you go and pick up the snow, you can literally see there's snow next to the barrel that you pick up the second time. So what is it? Were you blind the first time? Or did you
notice he can't answer. Wait. Okay, you're refuting your own position by saying that there was actually snow based on where I originally was. So then what are you even claiming about why I had to supposedly walk away to pick it up, and that proves that I allegedly was committing fraud? What is your argument? What's your argument?
I said, why did you need to walk to the back to pick up snow? You said because it was too compacted where you stood. Yet, you literally said, look, there was non-compacted snow where you stood, and that's why you could throw the second time. So I'm asking you, were you blind the first time? Or was it just you realized there was snow?
No. False dichotomy. I just didn't see it. I don't have to literally be blind to have not seen it. It's literally retarded what you're doing. And also, you're not answering the question. You're saying, why did you have to walk away to pick up? You said, why did you have to walk away to pick up the snow? What are you implying? How is this some type of evidence of fraud? How does me having to walk back to pick up the snow somehow? So what are you implying? What's the purpose of the questioning?
Why did you have to do that? You then double spoke and said, I went there because the snow was compacted. And when you went and saw, oh, there was snow there anyway, it was compacted, that's called a contradiction. I didn't say anything about fraud. I asked you a simple question.
You'll never answer it because you're a liar and you're bearing false witness. So now I'll just repeat it again. I didn't contradict myself at all. You're a liar. I didn't contradict myself at all. Stop interrupting me. You're lying. I didn't contradict myself at all. Stop interrupting me. You realize I'm actually trying to point out what you lied about, but you keep censoring me. Yeah, okay. So you just lied and claimed that I contradicted myself. I've corrected you 3 times. This is the main reason I haven't been engaging with you people, because you're just retarded. There's no reasoning with you people. Stop interrupting me. So I stood by the computer. Someone asked me to pick up snow. I just then looked around and noticed that there was a pile of snow behind me, because I already knew that the places that we were normally walking around, we had all our cameras set up, where the live stream was set up, where we were walking around, was super compacted. So when I looked around and saw snow behind me, I'm like, oh, there's an easy pile of snow to pick up. So I walked over there, I picked it up. I then start walking back. When I'm walking back, I notice, oh, wait, there is a little pile of snow by the trash can. I had not seen it. If someone actually goes and watches the video, they'll see everywhere else around it is super compacted. So it makes obvious sense that I may not have seen it. But once I walked back to the pile of snow you could see, I picked it up and then I dropped it. I realized that I didn't get it perfectly in camera as best as I could. When I had walked back over there, I noticed, oh, wait, there actually is a little bit of snow over here that's not compacted. So then I picked that up. That isn't a contradiction. I didn't see it until I got far enough away from it that I could see the snow down on the ground by the trash can when I was walking back. So when I picked it up a second time, I picked it up there. But what you won't answer is what this even supposedly proves. But I'll tell the audience, because I'm not going to be the one that's trying to deceive them. like you are. So what the claim was on the internet was that this proves that I was in some type of studio and we had fake snow set up in the background. And that's why I couldn't pick up snow where I was. Now that's obviously just stupid because it was compacted. There were areas that were compacted and it was effectively ice. To quote unquote pick up snow, you would have had to literally dig into it, right? So that doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove I'm in a studio. It doesn't prove that there's fake snow anywhere. And then obviously the evidence that refutes that is that I then actually picked up some snow that was right there, right? Proving that the entire premise of the argument in the first place is debunked. And that's why they all cut the scene not to show you the second time I pick up snow. That's why they all omit it. And that's when I want to directly ask people like Flatzoid, wait a minute, if you're claiming that somehow is evidence of me doing something deceptive, then what about when I pick it up the second time right beside it and he refuses to answer it and says he's just asking questions? You're not just asking questions, you're implying I did something deceptive or you wouldn't be asking the questions. So can you answer the question? What is it that supposedly proves? What does it prove that I walked away to pick up snow the first time?
Okay, are you finished by having your whole monologue? Anyway, you do know that is a sign of with when it comes to lying, you're just going to keep talking to try and prove that you're not lying. Anyway, Witsit, you just contradicted yourself again. You said you went and you saw behind you there's a pile of snow. False. You went to go get your gloves, first of all. Okay, so you already knew the pile was there. Secondly, you said you didn't see the pile by the drum. Then you saw the pile by the drum, which literally corroborates what I just said. So were you blind the first time when you didn't see the pile by your feet or not? That's all I said. So when you keep monologuing and trying to avert from what was going on, is just you showing you are lying and you need to cover up those lies. That is what lying does. So again, Witsit, did you or did you not see the snow, which you can see on the 360 camera, by the way, by your feet as soft?
I mean, I will be amazed if anyone ever watches you again after this, but to be fair, no one really watches you anyway. But I just answered this. Why are you interrupting me? Why are you interrupting? You know what's actually a sign that you're lying? You have to censor the other person, just like your little cult FED, until they kicked you out because you weren't a good boy anymore and you dared think about a couple subjects for yourself. Okay, so don't interrupt me. It's not going to save you. Don't interrupt me. It's not going to save you. See what he's doing? He has to censor me from talking.
I'm going to defend myself. Witsit, this whole time I'm letting you talk. You've been insulting me the whole time. Been saying some weird shit about FED, which is not a cult. And by the way, I'm still part of FED like everybody else. The only reason you have issues with me and FED is because we show your bullshit out. Okay? Now stop telling me I'm slandering what you haven't shown me.
Do I have to mute you? Do you think that you get to interrupt me and then just monologue? You think that's how it works?
Literally, I said 10 words. So
you are interrupting me to talk right now.
While you are going and contradicting yourself constantly, making my point and not letting me talk, you are literally digging your own hole with it. So stop telling me I'm lying, which you still have not showed where I've slandered you, where you conceded you've never watched my content. And by the way, my channel
and no one watches it.
1,800% in the last 3 weeks.
Oh wow! What's 1,800% of 10? No one cares about your stupid percentage.
300 people live watching you laughing.
Stop. Yeah, they're watching you because my name's in the title, you douchebag. Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me.
I got you, Witsit. I got you. Hold on, guys.
Every time I've been streaming for the last 2 weeks, I've had an average of 200, 300 people.
Flatzoid, I'm moderating. No one can hear you. Stop.
Wow.
Let's all go one at a time. Yes, I had to jump in and moderate because there's a lot of
over
talking. Flatzoid, please. Flatzoid, please. I have to moderate this. No one can hear anything.
Yeah, but let me talk more than 10 seconds.
Flatzoid, please, bro. Please. I'm moderating. Just stop. Let's all go one at a time. Let's actually get a point addressed, and let's not do the name calling and any of that. Let's just address the points and the topics, please. I just keep hearing questions go back and forth and points not getting addressed. Let's actually can we get down to something here, or let's let Witsit finish his thing, and then you go next, Flatzoid, please.
Okay, so I've addressed every single thing he said repetitively to the point where he acts like I didn't address it, repeats it, and then I have to address it again. He has avoided every single question I've asked him, but like 2 of them. Every single one of them he's deflected away. Now, what actually just happened right there was he went on this big tirade, completely avoiding everything I had laid out. And then I let him finish. I went to talk. 4 words in, he interrupted me. No, I'm going to defend myself. Then he just continually started talking a long time again, and then claimed I was not letting him speak, which is the same thing that Oakley does. Oakley mutes you, censors you, interrupts you, and then when you ever tried to actually jump back in, he says, oh, look, he has to censor me. That's where you were trained, though. And yes, it is a cult, because you're not allowed to question anything that they say, or you get kicked out, you get muted, you get censored, you get slandered. It's literally a cult by definition. Now we're going to go back to addressing what you're afraid to address. Okay. The actual claim, you'll never answer the question, what does it supposedly prove? Now, you keep saying you're contradicting yourself. What, were you blind? You're not answering my question. I did answer your question multiple times. No, I did not notice that there was loose snow by the trash can, or I would have never walked away to pick it up in the first place. Okay, so I didn't notice that. I went over where I saw a pile of snow because it was right outside of the packed down, compacted path. I went and picked it up. When I started walking back, I noticed, oh, there's other loose snow there. So when I noticed that you couldn't really see it that well on the angle that I dropped the snow, and I knew that I'm dealing with schizophrenic people that are going to look for any excuse. So you had to drop the snow a little bit off camera because it's fake or whatever. I decided to then pick up another thing of snow because I saw, oh, wow, I didn't first notice that there actually is some loose snow right there. I've answered that multiple times. That isn't a contradiction. That isn't double speaking. That isn't me avoiding any questions. Now, the question that you're avoiding, though, is what does it even supposedly prove? Because the actual claim that circulated the internet was that I had to walk away from the computer to pick up snow because I was in a studio. So it was fake snow, and we just had a pile of fake snow. So I couldn't just pick up the snow where I was because we only had a pile of fake snow. So I had to walk over and pick up the fake snow. But that's obviously directly debunked when you see me the second time bend down right by the computer and pick up the snow. And that's why these people are tactically cutting that part of the scene off, not addressing it, not mentioning it, lying by omission. And then when there's a moment like this where I'm directly asking him, what does it supposedly prove, and how is the point not debunked when I picked up the snow right beside it? He entirely avoids it. He's going to avoid it again. I'm going to ask you one more time. What is even the purpose? What does it supposedly prove that I walked away and picked up the snow? Because I then come back and picked up snow beside the freaking trash can. What does it supposedly prove? What is even the purpose of the line of questioning?
Great. Is the monologue over? I can eventually talk. Okay, first I'm going to address everything you just said. You do know your cult, the True Earthers, after you said you were, excommunicate us, Flat Earthers? Yeah, that's called a cult, man. By the way, FED's no cult. The only reason you don't like them and the rest of us is because we expose your bullshit and your ignorance to subjects. Now again, I'm going to say again, I don't care what you think if you picked up something. I just asked you a simple question. Why did you have to go there to say it? You then contradicted yourself, so I am talking against the contradiction, not anything against it. And yes, I do think you've been deceptive because all you've been doing this whole stream was be deceptive and contradict yourself every time you talk with your long monologue word salads. It doesn't work on me. I actually do listen when people talk. Witsit? So, do you think it is fair of a truther to sit back and watch someone deceive people? You literally see them deceiving people and think, hang on, I'm still going to trust what this guy says or does. Is that truthful?
Notice how, once again, he completely avoided the question because he has no answer. He's literally just using fluff, trying to make inflammatory comments, and trying to just fill the space with anything other than the actual points. I didn't double speak. You've been directly refuted. I didn't originally notice the snow there. I walked away and picked up the pile of snow I did notice. When I walked back, I said, oh, wow, there actually is snow there. I didn't even have to walk away. So the second time I picked it up, I picked up that snow that was there I did not originally see. That isn't a contradiction unless you want to be a liar. You clearly have shown you are literally a liar. Now, again, for the 10th time.
I answered. I say you are being deceptive.
Does it even supposedly prove that I had to walk away to pick up the snow?
Again, because it shows you are being deceptive, and therefore why should we take anything you say as truth? As a truther, you rigorously look at what's being presented to you. By the way, why was there no 24-hour live stream of the sun as promised?
You're not going to get to deflect away. So it doesn't show I'm being deceptive about anything. because I just addressed it. I didn't notice the small pile of snow by the trash can at first. Where we were all standing and where the trash can was a packed down, really compacted pathway that was made. It was originally made for the marathon. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know this is super compacted. I'm not going to sit there and dig through it when I see that I know there's a pile outside of the path because they made a path. And so it makes a pile beside the path. So I just walked over there to pick up where I knew there was loose snow. When I came back, I saw, oh, wait, there is actually a little bit of loose snow right there. That isn't showing me being deceptive. That isn't showing me lying. And that isn't showing me contradicting myself objectively. Now you're lying, claiming that the only reason you brought it up was because it, quote unquote, shows I'm being deceptive, because your whole argument is that what proves I'm being deceptive is that I'm contradicting myself. Well, you brought this point up before we ever spoke, before I ever gave my answers. So no, that's not why you brought it up. Why you brought it up is because you're a terrible researcher. You watched the other slanderous, retarded videos that are going around on X where they're claiming that proves that I actually had to walk away and pick up fake snow because I'm in a studio. That's why you brought it up. That's why the claim was originally brought up. That's why it was circulated. You don't have the integrity to admit it because now you've realized that it's directly debunked by just watching the rest of the video and seeing I picked some snow beside the camera. So you fell for a stupid hit piece that tactically cuts off the end and lies to push a narrative that's easily debunked by the next 7 seconds. Instead of being a man with integrity and admitting that you fell for that trick, you refuse to even address it, and you're claiming that it's just to prove that I'm deceptive. Well, I've shown very clearly here I'm not being deceptive about anything. I'm not contradicting myself at all. To say that I didn't notice the snow originally until I then started walking back, that isn't deception, that isn't contradiction, and that isn't doublespeak. That is so stupid. You're just going to keep saying it. So last time I'm going to ask you, what? Don't just repeat that it shows I'm being deceptive. That doesn't make any sense because you're claiming what proves I'm deceptive is that I'm supposedly contradicting myself. Now, you started talking about this before we ever spoke, before I even gave an answer, before I ever even gave an answer about it. So that's a lie. That's not why you originally brought it up. You didn't originally bring it up to show that I'm deceptive because I'm contradicting myself. That's a lie. So answer the question, show some integrity. Why? What does it even matter? What does it allegedly prove that I had to walk away to pick up the snow? What was the original claim about why I had to go pick up the snow?
You just literally answered me. So you contradicted your own statement again, saying I don't answer you, literally trying to make excuses for why I gave my answer. That's called a contradiction, you dipshit. So next time you tell me you're not answering me while literally saying, well, don't say this, is me answering you. It's because you are showing to be deceptive. So I do not, as a truther, stand by and say, should I trust what you say? That is it. That is the answer. If you don't like it, that is your problem. Okay, Witsit? You are showing to be deceptive because you keep contradicting everything you say. Literally, when you open your mouth, you double speak and debunk your own argument. That is a trait of a liar because you're trying to cover up your lie. Then you contradict your lie. So, you have lied and contradicted yourself about the vape. You lied and contradicted yourself about the about the snow. And you lied and contradicted and say, you know what's going on. By the way, I'm going to fix something. I have been on holiday for the last 10 days. I haven't watched any of this content. I only came back 2 days ago and started catching up what's going on. That snow thing, I saw live on the last stream before I went on holiday. That vape, we saw live before I went on holiday. Okay? So don't come and tell me I only saw it from there and there. The person that hasn't even watched my streams, that has the audacity to say I'm slandering them, when literally in those streams I've been telling everybody, well, you know what? I think Witsit was just duped into this. But now I don't think that. Now I literally think the way you are going on with this, you were put there because you are loving to be deceptive. Do you know everybody's calling you guys out as Freemason symbology stuff? Do you know that? Do you know why?
Okay, so you have been thoroughly debunked. I'm embarrassed for you. It's okay, but I would actually encourage you to try to show some humility. You probably shouldn't have live streamed this because now you feel like you really have to double down and show that you're right and stuff. We all know that what I explained is not a contradiction. It isn't me double speaking. It isn't me being deceptive. It's me being transparently honest. I'm the person that's coming to these rooms and answering and fielding all questions, all disingenuous gotcha questions you can think of. I'm fielding them live and being extremely transparent about the whole thing. Okay. It isn't a contradiction to say that I didn't originally see that pile of snow. It doesn't even make any sense. What you're saying makes no sense. If I did actually know it was there, why wouldn't I just pick it up the first time? Why would I even walk away to pick up the other one? The original claim was that that snow was over there because I didn't know, or because it was fake. And that's why I had to walk away. But that's debunked by the last 5 seconds, the next 5 seconds showing I pick it up beside the camera. So flat earthers are being deceptive. They're being disingenuous. They're cutting me out of context. They're slandering me and they're lying. They're doing exactly what anti-flat earthers do. And this is you're not new to this though, because you cut scenes out of a Red's rhetoric video apparently. Now, what I do want to point out is that you also just lied and you claimed that you watched the vape thing live. No, you didn't. The 360 camera wasn't even available at that point. Your whole argument is that you see me crouch and then you know it's a vape, blah, blah, blah. What? That wasn't even available then. Okay. So let's move on to your next point. Both of those things have been thoroughly debunked. I get that you're just going to keep on baselessly lying and claiming I contradicted myself. I guess you're hoping that the audience just has such a low IQ that they actually fall for what you're saying. That if you just keep saying it with conviction, that somehow it becomes true. I didn't contradict myself at all.
At my feet.
You're hot miking. I didn't contradict myself at all. I didn't see the snow at first. I walked away and picked up where I did see snow. When I came back, I saw there was a small pile of snow, so I picked that up the second time. There's no contradictions anywhere. The original claim was that it was in a studio and the snow was fake. That's been debunked because I didn't pick it up right beside there anyway. So that's just one of the 30 different claims flat earthers have been making that are all easily debunked and they're lies. The next question you asked me is why there wasn't a 24-hour live stream. Right. Well, okay, because we tried to do a 24-hour live stream. We set up, we used the Android from Duffy's phone. We tried to stream it live to Candace Owens' channel. And after like 12 hours, the phone crashed. And that's because we couldn't do a full live stream on YouTube. It has a 12-hour limit for live streams. You could have just run it continuously, but that would have been a conspiracy because it would have been gone, right? It would have just disappeared after like the first 12 hours. They would have started disappearing. So we went to Rumble where we should be able to live stream the full 24 hours. It requires way more processing, has a way higher processing demand because it has a way less efficient processor than YouTube. So we put the phone up, we tried to live stream it. We actually had to manually turn the phone as we followed the camera and it just crashed after like 12 hours. We were going to then do another one, but the next day it was overcast and super cloudy. And that was the first time I had gotten sleep in like 7 days. And so I slept into like 9. We slept from like 4 to 9. And then when we wake up, we're told there's a storm coming. We have to leave early. And then we had like 7 things we had to do that day. Didn't even have time. And it was overcast. That's the only reason I didn't do a second live stream myself. Okay. That's the answer to the live stream. The phone literally crashed. You're putting a phone outside in Antarctica for many consecutive hours, live streaming the sun on Rumble. Okay, that's just objectively what happened. The same people, we didn't even think we could live stream from Antarctica. No one's ever live streamed from Antarctica. We go there, somehow pull off having freaking internet in the middle of nowhere because we had to set up our own Starlink. We are able to live stream with you guys, take your requests, interact with you live, and try to pull off a 24-hour live stream. Now you guys have moved the goalpost to somehow, if you don't have the full 24-hour live stream, it was all faked. It's so stupid. It's so disingenuous. You also claim that you looked at the weather and there was wind, but there was no wind. You're surrounded by mountains. There isn't much wind. And no, there wasn't much wind there, right? So whatever. I don't care what weather you think you looked at. We were inside of mountains. There wasn't that much wind. The 24-hour stream's been answered. The breath's been answered. The vape accusation's been answered. The snow's been answered. So what else do you got?
Okay, first of all, why didn't you just stream it 24 hours to another platform, like you said, if YouTube only allows 12 hours? You could have restarted it, by the way. Secondly, yeah, that is another issue. How the hell did you get Starlink to readjust their quote-unquote satellites to stream 24 hours over the Antarctic if it's too cold, apparently? And thirdly, I live literally in mountainous area. I'm just surrounded by mountains, and it's windy here. So don't talk bullshit because you're in mountains, you don't have wind. Actually, it's worse with the wind because of the mountains. It's called thermodynamics. The air moves faster because because of Bernoulli's principle. So you might need to consider that next time you say, because mountains, no wind. That is exactly why it's windier when you go up a mountain than when you lower, because of Bernoulli's principle. So
Just proved my point that when you're lower below the mountains, it's not windy.
I've let you monologue all this time and talk bullshit, show you ignorance. No, all you've done is contradict yourself. By the way, thank you, Witsit, for actually proving everybody's point that you are indeed being deceptive. So I asked you a very simple question. Why is all the masonry symbolism coming through with this TFE? That's the second time I'm asking this.
Okay, I don't have any masonry symbolism. You guys actually had to freeze frame me pointing up at the sky where I'm not even doing a Masonic symbol at all. My pinky is just slightly up when I point up to the sky, and they're trying to claim that I'm doing the like rock symbol, but I'm literally not. My finger's actually down. So you have to be some schizophrenic person suffering from pareidolia who disingenuously tries to freeze frame any moment of a video where I'm pointing up to the sky saying, for sure, guys, the sun's right there, I'm looking at it. And then you freeze frame it and claim I had some type of symbol. The only other picture that exists is where I'm doing the flat symbol. That's existed for years. And everyone knows that it's just a flat symbol. And when you're at huge you probably don't even leave the house, but when you actually go around tons of people at a conference and everyone's like, yo, let's all do the symbol. Either you're the one person in the picture that doesn't do the symbol, or you just do the flat symbol. Okay. Now, when early on in those conferences, I did them a couple times, and then I found out that it was a Masonic symbol. It was a whole conspiracy, and then I stopped doing it. And you can probably find 36 pictures where the whole entire crowd is doing the symbol, but I'm not. Okay, that's the only quote unquote Masonic symbols that anyone could say that they find. And it's so funny. I guarantee you, someone could look at all your streams. If you ever talk with their hands, they could deceptively freeze frame something and claim that it's a Masonic symbol. You also made a claim about Starlink. How would the Starlink? No, let's go with the mountains first. You said I live in mountains and it's even windier there. That's why when you go to the top of the mountain, because of Bernoulli's principle, that's why it's windier. Yeah, so it's windier at the top of the mountains and at the bottom. That's convenient because my whole point was that we were at the bottom surrounded by a bunch of mountains, which blocks the wind objectively. Okay, then, and by the way, when the storm started coming, we started feeling the wind because there was a whole storm coming and you could see the snow getting blown off the top of the mountains. We have videos of it. I'm sure that's all somehow faked or whatever because you guys are insane, right? Then you claimed the Starlink was somehow deceptive or was fake. Okay, I sat there and watched it when you said apparently it's too cold to have it, but now it's not. I don't even know what you're talking about. They have internet at the actual camp, and they've had it for I think 1 or 2 years. They've had it for 2 years and then open to the guests for 1 year. Okay, so they have internet at the camp. We actually went off site 1.5 kilometers away because at the actual camp there's a mountain that has a 13.5 degree elevation angle, and the sun would have temporarily gone behind it. And actually, it's well known at the camp that when the sun goes behind it, it gets way colder because then you're like, there's like a shadow. And so it gets way colder temporarily. So we weren't going to film 24 hours where the sun isn't visible the whole time. We knew it'd be a whole conspiracy. So we went out 1.5 kilometers away because they had that little building set up for the marathon runners that they needed to come in and take a break. So we went out there. They brought a bathroom out there for us. So then we had to set up a Starlink. There's no service there. So Duffy brought a Marine Starlink. I was going to try to bring my mini Starlink. They said it doesn't work. Only the Marine Starlink works for whatever reason, which is retarded, in my opinion. So then we had to set up the Starlink. We had to tape it to the window. We had to run a cord, and we got internet there. Okay, that's just what happened. It's objectively what happened. Okay. So whatever worldview you have where somehow Starlink can't exist, it's wrong. Whatever worldview you have where somehow a 24-hour sun can't exist, it's wrong. Okay, because those things are just factually what exists, and we haven't even. And I'll say one thing, just so you know, dude, we haven't even dropped a fraction of the evidence. I just shared my screen before you came in here, and I'm showing people one of the videos that I'm trying to upload, and it's 1.45 terabytes. It's incredibly long. It's a 25-hour long live time, 25-hour long, 360 video that's interactive, 25-hour long, 1.5 terabytes, 4K. Okay, that's just one of the pieces of evidence. We have GoPro where we film behind the scenes the whole time. We have pitch data from the plane. We have long distance infrared shots from the plane. We have all kinds of stuff that proves that we were there. Okay, so this is why I keep telling people, you guys need to pump the brakes. I'm trying to be patient with you guys because what's going to end up happening is it's going to become so undeniable that it's real, that all the people that did stuff like this are going to forever lose credibility. I'm actually looking out for you. I could care less about it if you slander me. I'm used to it. I'm literally right now telling you. Now, this sucks because you're live streaming this, but I'm telling you right now, like, you need to chill, bro. Because this disingenuous tactic where you're acting like I'm double speaking when I'm not, and you're operating in bad faith and you're claiming that I'm lying and all this, it's not a good look. So I've answered all your questions. Do you have any more questions? I answered the Masonic. I'm just going to go through them so you can see if I missed something. I answered the Masonic symbol question. I answered the Starlink question. I addressed the mountains make it windier claim. I addressed the supposedly I faked my breath with a vape. I addressed the you had to walk away to pick up the snow. Okay, so is there anything else?
First of all, you know that shirtless photo you guys took is Masonic symbolism as well. The left boot that McKeegan did was Masonic symbolism. The left boot that McToon did was Masonic symbolism. Secondly, you do know you're still in an open area with wide open field, even though you're in a mountainous area. Wind moves faster. So, no, you haven't really addressed anything other than saying, oh, I was just ignorant to this hand sign. No one gives a shit about the flat hand sign. The fact is, there's a lot of Masonic symbolism in this. And the fact is, you contradicting yourself. Everybody's seen this live. You're contradicting yourself. And all you've been doing is insulting people that say, listen here, what's going on here? We disagree with you because you're showing to be deceptive. The only one that has lost credibility here are you clowns. The only ones that's taken part in this deception, not an experiment, false dichotomy, are the ones that's lost credibility. The real flat earthers are the ones that's pointing this out. And you guys are scrambling because you can't take it. You can't take that the truth community, the real ones, are the ones saying, hey, why is this here? Why is that here? And I'm going to re-say this again. I don't give a damn if the sun is there 24 hours a day or not. It doesn't change the fact the earth is flat. What does matter is why is all the deception there? Why does there have to be deception from the get-go till now? It doesn't stop. That is what I'm going to point out, is the deception. And if you don't like that, it furthermore shows me what's going on. You are being deceptive.
Okay, so you can just wrap this up. You got nothing else. Apparently, I asked if you had anything else. So you're just baselessly asserting your conclusion over and over, claiming I'm being deceptive. Doesn't mean anything. I'm not being deceptive about anything, and I'm actually being, like, overly patient. You said that I was scrambling. Dude, I largely just stepped away and let all these people stab me in the back and slander me. I'm scrambling. I haven't even done a live stream yet. I barely even posted on X. I haven't even called these people out. I'm scrambling. What a joke. What a joke.
Why did you act as a Glober the other day?
Why did I act as a Glober the other day? What does that mean?
You went and acted as a Glober in a Discord chat.
What are you talking about?
They've literally got the video of it, Austin.
Is there not a thing about steel manning another position?
Wait.
Or
No. Wait. You're talking about where they wait. Let me just clarify. Yeah, you're claiming because I just heard this like last night. You're claiming, and by the way, this is the definition of slander, Flatzoid. You're bearing false witness. And you seem to think that's not serious, by the way. You should reread the context of where that's brought up. It's very serious. You just claimed that because I heard this claim, there's supposedly some guy named Matt that came in and he's a Glober and he was like, quote unquote, defending me. I heard it was on TikTok, I thought. TikTok or X. You're saying Discord? I don't know. You're saying there was a guy named Matt. There was a guy named Matt that supposedly was actually me in an auth account defending me. I heard it was on TikTok, I thought. TikTok or X. You're saying Discord? I don't know. You're saying there was a guy named Matt. There was a guy named Matt that supposedly was actually me in an auth account that was being a Glober, defending me. That is a complete and total lie. I haven't even heard it. I have no idea what that's about. I had talked to people last night. They said it doesn't even really sound like you, and the guy was clearly drunk. But I don't know. I know nothing about it. But I objectively didn't do any of that. That objectively didn't happen, Flatzoid. I objectively don't have an auth account at all on any platform.
Did you just not say you didn't hear it, yet you say he was drunk? How does that work? How's that not a contradiction? How do you not hear a guy and then say he was drunk?
See, you clearly lack the ability to listen. So what I said was, I didn't even listen to it, but I talked to people last night and they told me it doesn't even really sound like you and he was apparently drunk.
Yeah, I
So
told him, and I told him
Hold on,
he
this isn't
sounded drunk.
this isn't an open thing right here. Just let Flatzoid and Witsit go
No,
back and forth,
I'm
please.
making the point for Flatzoid. He asked, "How did
No,
he know?" It's
he
because
doesn't need his point made
Jeremy,
for
we
him.
don't
This is
need
not
your
an open.
commentary, brother. We don't
Okay,
need it,
guys, I'm
man.
not.
Not
This
right
is
now.
not an
What's the
open
topic,
thing
guy?
right
We don't
now.
need that
Hold
right now,
on,
dude.
man.
Yeah, it's just me and
I'm
Witsit. But
addressing
yeah,
Flatzoid.
Hold on, man.
whoa,
Something's
it's
going
me and
wacky with
Witsit.
my phone. Hold on a second.
Yeah, just stop, dude. You just Jesus
Hold
Christ.
on. Yeah, hold on a
I
second.
told Witsit about this guy
No,
who
Riggs,
sounded drunk.
this isn't
But it
open
does.
right now, Riggs.
Stop.
Please stop, bro.
Can somebody mute
No.
him, please? I can't on my phone.
Stop.
Can somebody just
Stop him.
I got it.
Flatzoid said to talk to you.
Okay, so yes, Witsit. If that's what you say, then fine. I'll accept that until I get more evidence for that. But that's what I heard. That's what I'm saying.
okay, but can we put a pause on that? Think about how you do. Wait, Flatzoid, I'm trying to level with you here, okay? Because you know the truth is actually I've defended you. So you're trying to run this game that I did and all this stuff. I defended you against FED, all that, right? We supposedly mended the situation where you did slander me and you talked pretty reckless about me, but then we had like a meeting of minds and we talked it all out, all that, right? And I've defended you many times. So I'm trying to level with you right now, okay? Like, think about how you said it. You did not ask me. You did not say, hey, there's an accusation that this happened or whatever. What you said was, why did you pretend to be a Glober the other day? And then you said, yeah, you came. Then you said, yeah, you came in and pretended to be a Glober. And then you said, it's recorded, Witsit. That is not a question. That is not skepticism. That is a definitive accusation. It is slander, dude. Okay. And so every time I call, let me say this. I'm trying to tell you, man, you need to listen. Every time I tell the flat earthers, like, look, I get why you would be suspicious. Because even when I watch the videos, it's such a foreign scene and it's so pristine that it like almost looks fake. Like it looks like too good to be true or something. Because I've never seen anything like that in my life. None of us have. And I get why people would be skeptical of it in general, right? I have no problem with people being skeptical. I have no problem with people asking questions. None of that. There's a big difference in you asking questions that don't quite add up to you and needing the context or being skeptical, and you going around and making definitive claims that are slanderous, making accusations that you know, I've been busted, I'm a Mason, da 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 da. Now you're saying that you were saying that I got duped or whatever, but you did just do it. You just did it right now. You just now accused me of pretending to be a Glober defending me in an auth account. You did not ask me anything. You accused me of doing it. Do you see that that's a problem, Flatzoid?
Wait. You know what the problem is? You're just saying trust me, bro. With everything you've just been saying, is just trust me. That's not a defense. Just because you say it wasn't you is not a defense. Just because you say you're not contradicting yourself is not a defense. Just because you're saying things does not make a defense with it.
No, prove it was me, Flatzoid. How am I supposed to prove it wasn't me? Like all of a sudden you don't know how logic works? So you're now when anyone can just make up any accusation of someone unless they can defensively prove it isn't true, it remains true. What are you talking about? Go find the timestamp. You haven't even heard it apparently. You haven't even actually seen where it was supposedly done. Go find when it was done. Go find when it was done and see if I was talking in Discord at the same time.
You apparently neither when you literally said, I didn't hear it, but the guy was drunk. That is again a red flag for me. When
you just repeated the same lie. You just repeated the same lie. Why are you lying so much?
Listen when I'm talking. That is why red flags come up. When you contradict yourself like that by saying, listen, yeah, I didn't vape, but I could have vaped. I didn't see the snow, but I picked up the snow. I didn't listen to your streams, but you slandered me. I didn't do this, but the guy was drunk. That's literally contradiction, red flags. And that's what goes up when you're like, but dude, you're saying this and you're saying something else. When you contradict your own statements, that's a red flag. What's it?
Those are all lies. You are strawmanning each of the things that were actually said to lie. This is exactly what Globers do. Let's go through each of them. I didn't say I didn't vape, but I vaped. I said I objectively did not hit a vape and exhale on that stream to try to fake my breath. I said I did not say I picked up the snow, but I didn't pick up the snow. Or whatever you said. I didn't say that. I explained very clearly that I went and picked up where I saw a pile of snow. When I walked back, I saw there was another pile of snow closer there. I did not say, oh, I didn't listen to him, but I knew he was drunk. What I said was, I didn't even hear it. I haven't even heard it. I just heard this accusation recently, like last night. And Riggs, along with a couple other people, told me that they had heard it. And the guy didn't even really sound like me. And he sounded like he was really drunk. So I just clarified for that for you 10 minutes ago. I said, no, I didn't claim that I didn't listen to him, but then I could tell he was drunk. I said, I didn't even hear it. Someone else told me that they heard it and that it was a guy that didn't really even sound like me and he sounded drunk. So then you just repeated the lie again.
I said why I see red flags. I didn't repeat the lie. I said this is why I see a red flag. Okay? So stop trying to say something like I'm just lying. Instead of just saying, yeah, okay, that does sound kind of suspicious. Does that not sound as suspicious to you or not?
Say it again.
Does that sound suspicious to you or not? If I say, okay, I didn't do this, I didn't watch this, but the guy sounded drunk, what would your thoughts be?
I didn't say, but the guy sounded drunk. You keep on changing what I said. No, what I actually said. No, what I actually said was I haven't even heard it, but other people told me that they did, and what they said was that it didn't even really sound like me and that the guy sounded like he was drunk.
Okay, I can accept that.
But I've said that 5 times now. So you see, like, either A, you're tactically trying to twist what I said.
What you've been doing 5 times is saying I'm just lying.
This is a perfect example. I've said that same thing I just said 5 times. You keep on waiting a few seconds and then repeating it, saying, I contradicted myself because I claimed I didn't hear him, but that he sounded drunk. That's a lie. That's a lie. I didn't say that.
I wonder if anybody can get hold of that Matt guy that was in. That would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be, because here's the real thing. Once it comes in and we talk at the same time, people move the goalposts. So, Austin's somehow able to manipulate space and time and make it where he talks at the same time. He actually recorded this interaction or whatever. And if someone goes and finds that I was talking in Discord at the same time, they'll be like, oh, well, that was a recording of Witsit or whatever. Or even if they just can't, if it's definitively disproven, they'll just pretend they never levied that false accusation against me. They'll move on like it never happened, and they'll just move the goalpost to another one. And let's just quickly go through. Let's just try to wrap this up unless you got something else. Let's just go through the list of all the stupid false claims of flat earthers. Oh,
that is really odd. Before you do move on, that is really odd because you and Jaren lately have been seeming to kind of degrade flat earth. You kind of telling flat earthers how dumb they are, how they all keep moving the goalposts, how they're all doing this dishonesty, how nobody wants truth and anything. Why is that? Why is so-called flat earth truthers being this way to actual flat earthers? And no, you're not a flat earther because you said you're a true earther. So
yeah, because you're not a truther. Anyone acting like this isn't a truther. Anyone acting like this isn't a truther. They're an anti-truther. And all I've said, it's actually flat earthers, a bunch of them, not all of them, obviously. In fact, the real ones all also agree with me that you guys are making us look terrible. You're making us look schizophrenic. You're giving them all the ammunition they need. If everyone had stayed calm and said that what's in the sky doesn't prove the ground, we falsified the globe, it doesn't matter what the sun does. We laughed and said, haha, whatever, this is going to flip around on you. It's giving us tons of publicity, and everyone had remained cool, then it would have been a huge win for flat earth. But the only win that the globe has now had is that half the community has filled the stereotype that we just say nuh-uh to evidence, that we don't know how to do research, that we have no discernment, that we deceptively edit videos to push narratives. Then when we're called out, we keep doubling down on the lie, that we turn our head away from it. Now what that's done is undermined all of the claims that we've caught NASA faking stuff. Because like, oh yeah, let me guess, you caught NASA faking stuff the same way that you caught Austin faking stuff. It completely discredits flat earth in many ways. The community that is acting like this, the half of the community that's acting like this, is doing such a disservice for flat earth that it's absolutely disgusting, especially a community and a truth that I've sacrificed all kinds of things in my personal life for, and then I come back after doing it for you guys, and you guys try to burn me at the stake. And here is an example. We'll just go through the list of things. You've done it multiple times, even in this stream, where once your narrative was called out, you just keep on repeating it and tactically changing what I said to try to make it look like I contradicted myself, even though not one time in this entire stream have I contradicted myself. But let's go through the list of things that has been spread on the internet. And this perfectly elucidates the point, because what a glober will do is they'll make a claim, you'll debunk it, and then they'll just skate past it like it never happened. And then you'll come in Discord the next day, and that same glober will be making the same point that got debunked as if it never happened. Okay? That's what globers do. That's not what truthers do. That's not what flat earthers do. But all of a sudden, because they're suffering from cognitus, they didn't think there would be a 24-hour sun, right? Because if it doesn't matter and it's inconsequential to flat Earth, then why the hell are you people acting like this? You're talk about double speaking. It doesn't matter at all, but I must just do mental gymnastics to try to claim that it wasn't real. They claimed that there was a green screen and that we were faking Antarctica with a green screen. And that's because I'm going to go through the list. That's because in
another hour to go, so I'm just going to quickly say
I don't have another hour either. I have maybe 10 minutes. Okay,
you just made my point. You just made my point by what you just spewed. Again, saying flat earth is this, flat earth is that. And by the way, it's not a contradiction when we say we don't care what the sun does or not. We are calling out the deception we see. That is what a flat earther does. When you see deception, you call
You
out
have seen no deception.
And because you can't accept, you have been shown to be deceptive, you want to now project it onto the people that...
I've debunked all your claims.
So I am going to shout out every flat earther that has been calling this TFE farce, satanic thing out. Heads up, guys. Keep a good job up, because these guys are literally here to make flat earth look stupid. And
that's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you're doing. That's what you do. That's what you've always done. That's what, if anyone's a freaking agent, it's freaking Oakley. That's what you guys have always done. You make us look stupid. You make stupid arguments. And when they're debunked, you don't have the humility to admit that they're wrong. Just like saying just like saying the proof that there is no downward bias is that things go in all directions. That is literally the stupidest, lowest IQ argument I've ever heard in my life. And you guys will never stop saying it because you've said it for years. Because obviously there can be a downward bias, but there can be another force that's stronger than that downward bias that overcomes it. It's the stupidest argument I've ever heard in my life, and you guys all keep saying it. But I'm going to now go through the list of the things that prove the point that flat earthers have been wrong about every one of their accusations. You just claimed that I've been proven to be deceptive, and every single one of your claims have been debunked live for the audience, and you've had to censor me, you've had to interrupt me, and you've had to lie about what I actually said, even though it's recorded and everyone just heard me say it. They claimed that there was a green screen because he accidentally left his green screen filter on, and that you could actually see the green screen glitch out on his jacket. Of course, if they weren't retarded, they would know that if we were using a green screen to fake the Antarctic background, when the green screen showed up on the guy's jacket, it would have showed Antarctica, not the TFE background that he always uses. He just left the green filter on. What did they then do? They tried to then do a stream to debunk the claim that there was a green screen. So McToon and him both streamed each other from different angles. They picked the drone up and they shot the drone back super far to show there wasn't a green screen there. Then McToon walked over there to tape it from the other angle to prove that that drone was in fact flying away. When the drone got closer to him, it started beeping. Flat earthers deceptively started sharing videos and saying that it proves that there is a wall over there or that there is a green screen because that's a proximity sensor in the drone and it started beeping. But in reality, it just got close to McToon and started beeping.
I've got something on that if you want to answer, because we literally saw last night where it showed a shadow, two shadows for the drone, one on the snow and one on the other side, which looked like to be a wall.
Okay, so you see what happened right there? This is my perfect point. Just like with Globers, when their point gets debunked, they should immediately shift it over to another one.
You haven't debunked it. I said this is what we saw last night. So what's your answer to seeing another shadow which seems to be looking on?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't seen it, and I know for a fact that it will be easily debunked. But what you just did,
Great,
yes.
Guys. Witsit, he's doing what Globers do.
Just post the video.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's just going to be debunked.
Yeah, you know what? Flatzoid, are you retarded? Okay, hey, buddy, if I was actually there, let's say hypothetically, I actually went to Antarctica. I was actually there. It was actually just Antarctica. I actually watched them fly the drone backwards. Would I have a position in that scenario to be able to say that I know the claims that it was faked would be debunked? Of course I would, right? Because I freaking was there. Now, again, what happened was the flat earthers claimed that proved there was a wall there because the proximity sensor went off. And actually what happened was it just got closer to McToon and it had a sensor in both the back and the front. And when I pointed that out, you immediately deflected over to, I have something else about that. So my point here is these are all the claims that have been circulating that have caused everyone to claim that it was fake. And they're all wrong. Okay. The other one, McToon's shadow is stretched out and got way longer. This was shared by all kinds of fighters. This proves that there was like local studio lighting. But then Dave actually had his wife walk in a parking lot and taped it and showed that's just what happens. It's based on the angle of the camera, the object that's casting the shadow, and the relative angle of the sunlights. And that his wife walked across the parking lot and her shadow was super long. And then when she got in front of him, it got super short. That was shared everywhere.
You know why? Because the sun is local. What's it?
That is irrelevant. The point is that they claimed...
Because we live on a flat earth, Witsit. I thought you're a flat earther. So the sun is local, Witsit. Observation shows it's true because the sun is local, Witsit. Do you get it? Because it shows it's
What's local mean?
Witsit.
How does that? What do you mean? Do I get it? The claim was that it was a studio light, and that's why that happened. Okay, that there was studio lighting. There was studio lighting. That isn't true. Dave walked outside using the sunlight with his wife, showing that the shadow does that. I will happily admit that, in my opinion, the way that the shadows work actually show that it's a local light source. It's a local sun. That isn't the point. The point is that they claimed it proved we were in a studio because of the shadow doing that, and that was immediately debunked. Another one is they didn't see footprints in the snow. They claimed it debunked.
Wait. How was it debunked? By showing a local sun somewhere else, correct?
The claim wasn't that the sun was local. The claim was that it was studio lighting.
Studio lighting. Is the light local in the studio?
Yes.
Is the sun local in reality?
Yeah. More local than they say, yeah.
It didn't debunk anything. What it did debunk was the globe, Witsit. It didn't debunk that it wasn't a studio. It debunked the globe. But
No,
as a flat earther,
you're so retarded.
The flat earther doesn't see this. Instead, you say they debunked something which didn't debunk it. That is not called truth, Witsit. That is called you being deceptive.
Okay, so once again, the actual claim was that it proves it was in a studio. Try and keep up. See if you can really keep up. We'll go really slow.
You're a glober.
The claim was that it proved definitively that it was filmed in a studio because the shadows did that. Dude, the claim was that it was, dude, stop interrupting me.
You haven't debunked that.
Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me.
I have to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, leave. You got destroyed in every single way.
Dude, we can do this again, but it's not going to help.
No, what? No. Why would I give you any more attention or clout? Hell no.
Yeah, because you're
Hell
a glober.
no.
That's what you've been doing.
I'm a glober?
Yeah. You just literally showed everyone, said, look, we've debunked a studio because you went out to the sun.
That isn't what I said. That isn't what I said. No, that's why you keep. No, that's not what I said. I'm around my children are back home. I'm not going to scream to talk, dude. Get a life. Okay,
well, I also got to go with it. So appreciate you calling me out. Appreciate you showing your deception and not actually doing anything other than showing you're a shill. So appreciate it.
Yeah, there you go. And thank you for letting everyone know you're legitimately just useless in this community. So again, I'll just repeat what you're trying. You're going to keep trying to censor me, and then you're going to keep trying to censor me, but it's not going to change facts, right? So like, the claim was that it was definitive proof it was in the studio, but that was debunked when Dave then used the sun to show the exact same shadows. And you claim that doesn't disprove it was in a studio. I didn't claim it disproved it was in a studio. What I claimed was it debunked the claim that was definitive proof it was in a studio, because the same thing happens with the actual sun on the earth, provably. Okay. Everything that this dude did and said was just deceptive tactics, straw manning me, lying, twisting what I said, trying to make sure I couldn't get the full point out when I wasn't going to expose it. These people are a joke. I know that.
He's gone. Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to have closing statements and we'll wrap this up and then open up to everybody else? Or you guys?
The one of the guys already left.
Yeah, let Austin finish.
Okay, so I guess it's over. Okay.
I want to ask him the fun question, which would be like, why does this schizophrenic ass like think that, Witsit faked it? That'd be the really fun one. Let's have him answer that when he comes back.
You guys gonna let Austin finish talking or just?
Well, that my summary was pretty simple. I mean, anyone that listened to that saw what he was doing. Every time that I made a specific claim, he waited a couple seconds or a couple minutes and then just blatantly lied about what I said and removed context, omitted what I actually said, changed what I said to claim it was a contradiction. This is exactly what Oakley does, exactly what most Globers do. It's just dishonest. It's like deplorable. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're telling the truth or you're defending the truth, you don't have to act like that. You don't have to try to cut off the person's statement to make sure it can't be heard. You don't have to censor it, and you don't have to lie about what was said. Okay. And then he also didn't want me to go through the list because you noticed that as I started to go through the list, he was trying to defend each one of them. So he's pushed all of those false narratives that have all been debunked. Right. And that's just ridiculous because like you can fact check all of them. The snow prints, and I'll wrap this up like 30 seconds. The no snow prints, it's been debunked. They've shown that in other places with compacted snow and ice, you don't really see footprints that much. They've also shown if you look at the time lapse, you do see footprints. They're just very light. They show with the marathon, you don't see footprints either. That's been debunked. They claim that the drone was actually getting close to a wall. It's been debunked. It actually just got close to McToon. Dave replicated it, showed the exact same thing happening with his drone, front and back proximity sensors. They claimed that the shadows showed that there was a studio lighting. That's not true. Dave had his wife walk out in front of the sun and show that the shadow does the exact same thing.
What? Look what happened.
You're hot miking. Okay. And then every single one of the claims have been debunked. Every single one of them. And like he just randomly says like nuh-uh to Starlink. Okay, cool story, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then the vape, the breath thing, it's a total lie. And that's why they'll never actually show me supposedly hit a vape and then exhale on the camera. That didn't happen. It just objectively didn't happen. And they'll also never address that you see an entire stream where you see my breath the whole time. And that's because they're being deceptive. They're being the liars. All right, they're having to omit things. It's like whenever the snow claim, and I guess you guys just all heard this, but it's like I walk away, I pick up the snow. They're like, see, Austin had to do that because they had a pile of fake snow. They're having to tactically cut off the next 5 seconds where I walk back and pick up another thing of snow down by the camera so that they can then lie and claim that I had to walk away to pick up the fake snow. This is like anti-flat earth level lying. This is disgusting.
Why do you think they're doing that? As flat earthers, why do you think they're doing that? I don't get it.
I think some of them like really are
question.
freaking out with like Cogdis about the 24-hour sun, and a lot of them just take the word for other content creators they put on a pedestal, and since some of them have claimed that it was fake, that they're just going to repeat it and go down swinging.
Have you ever tried asking that schizo that was just in here, one of them? Have you ever tried asking them, hey, so let's go out here into the land of hypothetical and make believe. Let's say I did fake it. Why would I fake it? Have you ever asked them that?
No, that's actually a good idea though. Well, they would obviously say the obvious. They'd say because it's going to be spun like it proves the globe or whatever.
But then
I
you
don't know.
would
Is it obvious
just
that they
say
say? I
because
want
you
to
got
know.
paid.
Well, just on the vape claim, like whenever because I used to vape and I smoke tobacco, and the clouds are different. Like they look different, at least to me. And then not only that, in my area, when it's not the same thing, when it's not humid, I might walk from inside and take a couple breaths outside and I'll see it. But then after that, the air is too dry and I don't see my breath. This is just my perspective from my experience, you know? I was trying to put that in there, but yeah, y'all.
So where were you vaping at? What was the name of it?
Antarctica.
Where were you picking up snow in 2 or 3 different places?
It was in Antarctica.
Where were you deceiving people where you were at?
Never happened.
I don't get it, man. What's it? I don't get it. Like that was a total waste.
Well, it's just crazy. This is, and you guys can see why I'm not going to keep doing that. By the way, right? Like I'm not going to keep interacting with these people because, like, look what he did. He went down swinging. He just kept lying. He never admitted he was wrong about any of it. Like, so why would I waste my time and energy to like do that? Where he's like, I have 300 live viewers. Yeah, of course. Because you're talking about this topic and you're using my name, claiming that you're like debunking me. That's why they're doing it, is to get clicks. And that's just so gross, bro. Like you're not a truther. You're doing things deceptively to get clicks. How is that a truther? So whatever.
Also, are you gonna address the Freemasonic vulture's claw and Illuminati Vulcan death grip?
No, that one's too damning. I can't even spin it.
Yo, Witsit, when you
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got him.
Yo, Witsit, whatever, it's sacred, bro. When you hear this,
take him down.
This double, the guy popped up on Flat Earth Fridays. I don't know why Flatzoid said that was in Discord, and he been in Flat Earth Fridays many times before. I don't know who started this. Matt guy is Witsit. Like when you hear this, bro, you're gonna be highly like upset that this rumor started.
Does he just sound like stupid or something?
Hey, Sacred, I sent him the timestamp of that guy. It is ridiculous.
And I found the Twitter account too. I mean, Austin would have had to been like posting on this Twitter account for however long this guy's Twitter account's been accurate.
Yeah,
So
can we call
we
Riggs
had-
out as a known shill now since he tried to obviously interrupt this one-on-one so vividly? That's crazy. Riggs a shill.
But yeah, clearly what Riggs was saying actually would have been valuable input real quick, which is that he could corroborate that the way I got the information was from him, which is true. I've never even heard it. But like, I will say this, man. I think that there may be Globers putting a lot of this information out, like similar to how like it's really hard for us to resist and Galatrax put out that troll. I think that Globers may be doing it, right? Like Globers may have started the rumor that that was me faking, pretending, right? And then because they just get to throw out these crazy baseless accusations and then sit back and then they're watching flat earthers like run with them.
I wouldn't
think
put
a
it
lot of it
past
comes
them.
from Globers. Yeah.
On that
wouldn't-
note,
I wouldn't put it past them at
with
all.
Riggs, can we untime him out? Because what he said was like germane to the subject. Because he was kind of invoked as a, a third party. It wasn't
Yeah,
like a.
Jeremy.
Why'd you
We
get timed out?
No,
He
Riggs.
said he got timed
No,
out.
he's not above the law.
And so how many gates is that? We got breath gate, vape gate, footprint gate.
We've got gate,
green scheme.
Yeah, drone gate, mountain gate, shadow gate, Starlink gate, Masonic symbol gate. Yeah, vape gate was at the beginning. Yeah.
If no wind in the low areas of the mountain surrounded by mountains proves that you weren't there, when the wind came and the storm came, does that prove that you were there?
Oh yeah, we have the no storm gate.
Don't forget
just so
fog,
insane.
fog gate. And the blue sky gate.
And yo, guys, think about this. If you were gonna fake it, like you can see your breath better in like everywhere else in the world. Like everywhere else that's cold in the world, you can see your breath better. So like where would you even go to fake it where you wouldn't see your breath really? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, it just seems so weird to me. And then they're like, "Oh, well no, it's cuz it's in a studio." It's like, "Okay. So you can't fake your breath in a studio." It's like, "Okay, then how do you see my breath the whole Owen Benjamin interview?"
Hey, that's
And
actually wrong. Witsit, that's actually wrong because in studios you can create like in a lot of the what's that show the with the dragon lady, like a lot of them were shot. Some of their scenes they had to shoot in the snow, but we're in a studio and they created the breath for them. Like so that's wrong. Like
Yeah.
even saying that's
Game of
stupid.
Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of
but
those
that was
scenes.
done with CGI, man. That wasn't live.
Yeah, live.
So you can see
also
why
just
I
cool
kind
down
of
the studio.
Another reason though that like I really try not to do that is because you can see like I couldn't help but get upset. And I called him retarded quite a few times. Because like I start to get upset. Like I start to get upset. You're just like sitting here lying, bro, and it just like triggers me.
11 times.
So yeah,
Well,
probably
just to correct you real quick, talking about it being CGI like post, production, they actually have real like CGI in real time in 2024, going to be 2025. So just to let you know, like it is possible to fake it, but just to like qualm that stupid argument, like that's all.
Also,
really,
if you were
if that
to
would be
hide a
fake,
vape in your beard, you'd be able to fake the water vapor coming out of your breath, as well as a vape hidden in your mug.
That's a good
but
point. Yeah.
also the situation like, hey, you were topless there, and therefore it's fake because this is how people look like in Antarctica with big hoodies and or big clothing. Why would you do the topless when you want to fake it?
Exactly.
I forgot the no
Yes,
shirt gate.
stupid again.
But then they say it's because we were just mocking them. We were just mocking them, showing that it was fake for those with eyes to see
It
or
was
whatever.
the single most tracked flight in the world that day, and he shows up arguing about fucking snow.
Austin, you're such a good actor and you can fake the whole thing, but you just couldn't take the heat in the studio.
And just one more time for all the listeners, fake, real, regardless. Seeing a sun above your head doesn't prove the ground you're on. I just want to throw that out one more time for everybody listening. God damn.
They probably didn't hear it.
This is
They
the
probably did.
process, though. Even though you get frustrated with a bunch of the flat earthers as well because of but this is the process that for people to pay attention. Like, oh, they're lying about this. This is what global flat earthers are saying now. Also, I think this is a process, man.
Yeah, this is the big thing is that like if they can get 98% of the things faked, especially like the hardest to fake things, then why would they have this like 2% of stuff that is these super tangential, like very weird, like none of these things are smoking guns, but why would these couple little things be the details that they happen to forget when they get all of the
Yeah, because
big
they want
details
to
right?
ignore the water. Yes, okay. They want to ignore the water and what water does.
Yes, yes. But yeah, in this point of like uh it in my case, if I thought it was faked, if I'm taking that position, I wouldn't expect to see any like mistakes in that sense. Like if they have the technology to fake so much of it, then they would easily be able to go 100% of the way.
I think so.
And
Like, cause what would be required to fake this is insane. Like a football size, like the top of the line, best technology in the world. They did all that, and we made like these simple, like quote unquote mistakes. Doesn't even make any sense. Like, what?
yeah,
So
yeah,
stupid.
that's a silly position that doesn't make any sense.
Most of their positions are contradictory, though. Most things they accuse them of, they'll contradict themselves in the next breath. It's absurd.
They'll be like, it's a green screen, it's a studio, it's digital screen, they're really there, but the sky is edited. It's like, which one is it?
It's because they're too afraid to say, I'm sad because I didn't get to go. And that's what they mean.
I'm sad because I was a coward.
You know what it is? A lot of these people, like FED and Flatzoid, they've been saying that there's no 24-hour sun in the South for like almost 10 years, right? So, as you know, it's hard to admit that you're wrong. It's a very difficult thing to do for a lot of people. So, finally, it's been proven, quote unquote, that there is a 24-hour sun. And they've probably also been thinking that the AE map is the true map of the world. Or maybe not the true map, but they've been thinking that as a flat map for a long time. So it's just very hard for them to back down and admit that they were wrong. That's a big part of it, I think.
Which is ironic given that most of these people grew up believing they lived on a globe and had to let that go. So it's either what they gave up halfway through the search for truth, or they're just full of shit.
Well, like I said, we're about to drop a 25-hour 360 cam video that's in 4K. So, I mean,
Yeah, but why?
Just for the record, when he said that about the marathon, the breath thing, he did say the whole time.
And I think we figured it all out, bro. Flatzoid, he said when you have on the left boot, that's proof that you're a Mason. So he's cool.
When someone else has a left boot on, it proves you're a Mason.
yeah, dude was saying like just the picture with your shirt off is also Masonic. It's like what taking your shirt off is Masonic. That's crazy. I never heard that. Then he said that they're putting their left boot forward. I think is what he was saying. But yeah, because it's so funny. He very quickly admitted like, oh well, no. Even if you were in Antarctica, you wouldn't always see your breath based on the angle and the lighting. It's like, okay, so like, what are we even talking about?
And this is coming from somebody who's gone to Antarctica before himself, right?
Well, one of the things, Austin, is this is an impossible position that Flatzoid and the other people have put themselves in because they know if they even ease up a little bit or recant anything, they're going to get eaten alive by the viewer base they just gained.
I
That's
mean, there
true.
is
That's why I
that,
was trying to
but
level with him like man to man. I was trying to say, dude, it's better to get out now, right? Instead of like being the guy who
yeah,
has to claim dark matter for forever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say it looks way better if any of them were to just be like, you know what, I was wrong. Like admitting you're wrong, like other people seeing you do that, it's a really powerful thing because most people can't, like you all were saying.
Yeah, but then they have to deal with temporarily getting attacked by all the people who aren't actually their fans, but are just there because they're vultures. Yeah, so you have to be able to stick through that.
Mice are men.
Right.
Oh, this just reminded me of? It reminded me of the one time at least that I was showing a Glober in another Discord server. Me just my video recording of Lake Chelan, Washington, where it's just 8.5 miles across. And he said to me, "Oh, this is fake." I'm like, "It's fake? You serious?" Like, yeah, it's fake. It's like, dude, that's my camera. I did that. What do you mean it's fake?
Fake.
Hey, Witsit, one short question, and then maybe a question afterwards. When you went to Punta Arenas and saw that the sun is actually rising in southeast and then going a loop through north and then setting in southwest or southwest again, and there's this kind of bright horizon. That was already kind of a surprise, right? That was something that you did not really expect, right? What's it?
He might be taking care of Aaliyah.
Okay. So from the live stream, I followed Jaren's live stream there. It was, I think, the first clue of, hey, there could actually be a 24-hour sun. And because you see kind of the light in Antarctica over the horizon glowing there. I'm really kind of, I can't wrap my head around that situation. Flatzoid is living in South Africa. So he knows that the sun is rising southeast and then going north. So he lives in the southern hemisphere. So he knew that stuff before. And it's not so hard to then understand that there may be a 24-hour sun. But still you can claim that doesn't have to do anything with the shape of the Earth. I'm fine with that. But still then claiming that it's all fake, even so you're living in the south of Africa and it's totally it makes total sense when you live there. I
Well,
don't get it.
that's why I'm saying he put himself into an impossible position because he cannot back off of any claim that he made if he wants to retain his viewership, which it seems that's the big deal for him, right? All these guys right now that are attacking Austin and Jaren are getting propped up in the algorithm. I have people that I do not even follow that are flat earthers that are showing up in my feed in extraordinary numbers from the attacks that they're leveling against them.
Yeah, of course,
It's
because
actually kind of wild.
everyone is watching these videos. I mean, if you say, okay,
Right.
that was our
So
24-hour sun, now we have to make research, that does not do any kind of clickbaiting. But
right.
saying
So
like,
well,
hey, this is all fake, that is clickbaiting.
right. It is